because his day in court did not come, but his day in the court of public opinion came that day on camera in front of Emily on the BBC, and everything after was very different.
And now, is it true that this is being turned into a movie? The movie rights have been bought for this? I mean, this is fascinating. I mean, did you ever imagine when you made that email and that contact a few years ago that this would be turning into this?
It's insane. And I think what's so interesting about it is it was quite filmic, sitting there watching it. Mm-hmm. And obviously, Emily's got a fantastic book that she's written, and she's written about this, a lot. And she's just so fantastic and brilliant. But it is a very different experience. In a sense, I'm the person on the street, I'm watching it. I'm one step removed. Mm-hmm. So we've all seen the interview and how that went and how incredible Emily was. But actually, the jigsaw puzzle of all the other bits and pieces, the interactions, how it came about, all of the conversations, the drama of that is, I think, what makes a compelling film. And lucky me, as you said, the book has been optioned by Lighthouse and Voltage, and I'm working with, this is just ridiculous. I'm working with Peter Moffat, who's won like a zillion Emmys. He just finished with Bryan Cranston, and now he's stuck with me. So I can only apologize to Peter for the downgrade in the company that he's keeping, but he is extraordinary. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to announce that their studio's on board and this will be moving forward. I can but hope. What a dream come true.
What a dream come true. Who do you want to play you?
Oh, this is so hard. I'm so better about who I want to play other people. Well, I've had the full gamut, Christina, between friends that I'm no longer talking to, who have come up with some very bad suggestions. But other people have suggested, so, take it as you wish. Very generous ones like Cameron Diaz, Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, very, very generous suggestions. So who knows, it would be a privilege to be part of this experience if it comes to fruition. Imagine sitting, you watch yourself, but for me, watching myself in a cinema potentially, that just defies belief.
I could see all those women playing you. I would love it. I would definitely sign up. And then last question about Prince Andrew. Following this interview, this is what caused the breakdown of him, being stripped of royal titles, the legal process and things like that. I'm sure you never would have imagined sitting there during that interview that his royal titles would be stripped. He'd pretty much be banned from all royal events and things like that. It all started after that interview aired.
It is really extraordinary. I think that is where I was only a lawyer for a very short period of time, but the lawyer brain knew he was in serious trouble with that interview, because as a prosecutor, you just play a few clips of that and then you basically show that, he can sweat, although he did say it was temporary, to be fair to him. And that is just a world of trouble. The serious part of this, and that's why, I don't want to make light of it in any way, is that in a small way, of course, this interview opened the door to the extraordinary hard work that Virginia Roberts had done, with her lawyers and others for years and years. How arduous and terrible that burden must have been. Mm-hmm. And I feel that this interview definitely opened the door to allow some of that to be, come to fruition and to be successful. Of course, we didn't help directly, but indirectly, it felt that this was his reckoning, because his day in court did not come, but his day in the court of public opinion came that day on camera in front of Emily on the BBC, and everything after was very different.
Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. And I want to get your opinion. What did you think of the BBC apologizing to the royal family over the Princess Diana panorama interview? What was your take on that?
Yeah, I have to say I was very angry about that. I don't work at the BBC anymore, so I can speak freely. Mm-hmm. I felt that very personally. Of course, this isn't about me in any way, but just factually, as you've asked me the question, the disparity between the way he went about his work and the way I went about mine, and the fact that his work reflected on mine in some way, made me livid. And I can only imagine how livid Earl Spencer and Princess Diana's sons and family must have felt for all these years, just waiting for the BBC to do right by them. And the length of time these things take, and the process and how arduous it is. And I left around the same time as Martin Bashir, and he was on, full pay for like 3 months and earned zillions more than I ever did. It really is a terrible injustice. And I just hope it comes to a proper end with dignity after undignified period in which this terrible behavior was not brought to account, and why not, and how not, and let it never happen again. You can feel I'm angry. It makes me angry. And I can only imagine what it's like for people who were close to her.
Oh, no. I mean, like you said, I mean, you do the hard work. It takes really hard work to earn trust for the people that you book these interviews for, and sit down with them, and to go about it a backwards way and a shoddy way it's terrible, especially with somebody of her stature. It's sad to see.
It's disgusting, to be frank. It's disgusting.
It is. It really is. Well, Sam, congratulations on the book. If you want to tell all of our viewers if they can pre-order it now, when it is available, because this is a must read.
Oh, that's so kind of you. So the book is called Scoops. The film is going to have the S removed and be called Scoops. So hopefully they can see that too. And it is available on pre-order. It's out in September with you guys, but we've had to ship it. And can you imagine, in this day and age, that seems to take a long time. Yeah. So physical books available on that day, and ebooks will also be available. And I really hope they enjoy it. And thank you so much for your time and speaking to me.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot to mention Hugh Grant. I mean, that name was thrown around too.
Hugh Grant.
I know. How could I forget Hugh Grant? I mean, what would that be like to work with him? If you know, obviously there's all rumors until things are signed on the dotted line, but there have been rumors that he would play Prince Andrew in the movie. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, tragically, I'm so sorry, Christine, to let you down after our new friendship has formed, but that was just a rumor. And in fact, he refuted it on the day we announced the film within a couple of hours, because casting had not begun. But he's a phenomenal actor. So, you know, never say never, Hugh, never say never. But I'm afraid that was just a wonderful rumor.
Are you going to be working very closely to make sure that this, is accurately portrayed?
I think it's really tricky because it is a drama after all. And so I'm sure there will be moments when we're watching the screen and maybe Emily's watching and she will be like wagging her finger and I'll be wagging mine. Ultimately, there is, the willing suspension of disbelief, and Peter is the dramatist and this is his baby now. So I'm going to have to say goodbye, I think, to 100% kind of like accuracy as we have in news, because this is a dramatization. So I trust him and I'm handing my story over to him, and I hope people find it interesting.
For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.